Hey friends, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina. I am super excited to be here with you today to go over a very cool car seat from our friends at Peg Perego. So the car seat that I have in front of me right now, this is an infant seat from Peg Perego. So infant seat denotes that it is exclusively a rear-facing car seat, so it's only going to face backward. And it will also have portability, which is illustrated here by a carry handle. So anytime you see a car seat that has a handle, that's going to be an indication that it is a portable infant seat. Okay, so what do we care about the Peg Perego Primo Viaggio 435 Urban Mobility? Whew, that is a mouthful. Before we launch into this, Peg is a company that's been around, I think, since like the 40s or maybe even earlier. They're Italian, they're out of Milan. The products are made in Italy. So that is one exciting thing to talk about. Most of the products that we deal with day in, day out are going to be made in China. So it's really exciting when we have a product that is made outside of China. And so Peg has this consistently made their products in Italy. So we do love that. The Urban Mobility is going to be a baseless infant seat. So what that means is that you are going to be able to install this car seat in a car with lower anchors without a base. And not only that, I'm going to go on record and say of all the baseless car seats that I carry, the Urban Mobility is going to be my favorite for a couple of different reasons. So I'm going to get into that right now. I'm just going to be very open about that. The reason why I say it's my favorite is that it is jam-packed with the most safety features and convenience features for the best price for the consumer. So does that mean it's the best one for you? Not necessarily. It just means it's my favorite. I sell them, so everybody's going to have a different opinion, okay? It is travel system compatible, so you can utilize it with Peg Perego car seats or excuse me, Peg Perego strollers or Agio strollers. But something that most stores don't know and most salespeople don't know is that Peg makes a secret set of universal adapters that you can put onto this car seat to make it work with strollers that have maxi cozy adapters. That is so many strollers. I will say a weak point for Peg in the past has been that they offer incredible car seats, but the stroller selection is just poor compared to maybe what some other people want. You can make this work on a Vista. You could make this work on a Bugaboo. You could make this work on a whole variety of different brands with those universal adapters. Silver Cross. So like things that had once been off limit now are actually on the table. So that's very cool. Very compatible depending on the pieces that you purchase for it. So the material in it, it just comes in one color. I love that. We don't need 8,000 colors for everything, especially for a seat that is sort of a one-off. Most of the infant car seats are going to come with a base, which is a docking station which stays in the vehicle. This guy can be used with a base or without a base. Now that's going to be true of all the infant seats, but why I smile when I say that is that when you use this one without a base, you're able to use lower anchors. And not only that, you're able to use lower anchors and an anti-rebound feature without engaging the seatbelt with European belt routing method. You're like, whoa, that's a mouthful. It is. I won't disagree with you, but I will visually show you what I'm talking about just so that it's not super unclear. But we'll circle back to that. Material, one color, flame retardant free. So we do love that. It is Fresco Jersey, which is their fabric that they've used forever. It is super breathable. So one nice thing is that you do notice that the kids in here generally seem to be pretty cool. They're not like sweating horribly when they come into the store. So we do love that. And then additionally, they have a UPF 50 sun hood, which gives you full sun coverage. This is insane, the amount of coverage you get here. And then you have a good clearance to get your arm underneath. So we love that. The weight on this guy is about 11 pounds with the infant pieces. It is a 2-stage infant padding that is removable at different weights. So when you remove those pieces, it brings the seat much closer to 9 pounds, which is right in line with the other baseless seats. Okay, so made in Italy. Oh, the other thing that's sick on this is that it has a no rethread harness. And if you're like, what does that mean? It means that this seat, and I didn't talk about the weight and the height limits, right? So priced at $299, it's going to work from 4 to 35 pounds, and it'll take a child 32 inches tall. So of all the baseless car seats that are on the market, this one will hold the longest, largest body. So it's the strongest value for dollar that way. In addition to that, let's move this handle back. This headpiece can move up and down without having to manually rethread the harness. So you can hear it making click sounds. It's stopping on a track, and that is adjusting the shoulder harness height. So instead of having to manually rethread the harness, which isn't difficult, but it is extra steps, this guy's just gonna be ready to go. You just grab a button on the back and scoot it up or down, and it will lock into place. So we absolutely love that it is a no rethread harness. That's a pretty ritzy feature. Love it. If you wanted to buy a base for this guy, they have 2 bases that'll actually work. They have kind of an inexpensive one for $120. That one doesn't have a load leg. They also have a load leg base, which we love, and that one would be $149. Okay, I'm just trying to see. Oh, let's talk about the new thing that they've offered. So this seat has a 7-year expiration, but it's from the date of purchase, not the date of manufacture. So that's one thing that Peg's been really proactive about this last year, is letting consumers know and stores know, if you buy our car seats, despite when it's manufactured, the date of expiration actually kicks off from the day that you buy it and start using it, not the day that it was made. So it doesn't have a lifetime warranty. So what that means is that you still have a standard 2-year Peg Perego warranty, but the expiration is going to be 7 years, and it's going to be from when you start using it from purchase versus date of manufacture. So that's really nice. You don't have to like worry that the store is giving you one that's too old, because just moving forward, everything with them is going to be from date of purchase. So we love that, the 7-year expiration, and let's make sure we're not missing anything else. Yeah, okay. Well, the canopy is UPF 50. Which we talked about, huge sunshade. But another thing about this guy, just really quickly, they have a buckle tuck on the side. So this is something that people geek out about NUNA, but Peg's actually had this like long before a lot of brands did. I'll bring this over so you guys can see. There is a little bit of like, it reads harness retainer, but there's a little piece of elastic here where my finger is. I'm going to move my finger. Maybe you can see that. But my finger's under it. So there we are. That is where you can tuck the silver part of your buckle into the seat to be able to make it hold away from the child's body when you're taking your child in and out of the seat. So it's like a little pocket for it to go into, which is great. And one thing that I did miss talking about, because so few seats have this, none of the baseless seats have this besides this guy. They have these things called Kinetic Pods. I know this stuff looks ridiculous. It's just like a little plastic knob that screws out of the side. However, these pieces in an accident make a huge difference. They deflect energy away from the body. They also increase ride down, which is the amount of time it takes for motion and energy to transfer to your child. Side impact accidents are the lowest occurrence of accidents, like they're the least likely to happen, but they are the most fatal. So it's nice to know that this seat, even though it's baseless, is still gonna have side impact protection. It's a really nice feature. So let's talk about that baseless installation, shall we? When we hook this up in the car, the thing that's going to be different about this guy versus the other seats is, one, our pocket for where the lower anchors is right directly on the seat. Very easy, very clearly marked with red. You pull this red tab, the lower anchor will remove. You have a belt to be able to loosen it. But the thing that's really particularly remarkable about this one is that when we install it without a seat belt, so when we're using the lower anchors, we're going to be able to utilize the front, the handle as an anti-rebound bar. So let's see how that looks in practice, because you're like, what are you talking about? So when we install the seat, we're gonna make sure it's level. We're gonna hook up the lower anchors. We're gonna make sure the strap is not twisted. And again, this information is not to substitute for any of the actual instructions for this product in the manual. This is just us talking amongst friends, kind of going over stuff. So we've got our back seat here. So now you see the seat's loosey-goosey. We don't want that. What we're gonna do is have the handle spin forward, like so, get it aligned, and then we'll go ahead and use the strap component to tighten the seat directly down. So because this handle is here, if the seat is to surge forward with primary impact, meaning we're driving this way and we stop, we're gonna surge forward, this seat's gonna wanna continue to move this way. It will arc down. That's your primary impact. When that seat goes down, it's gonna slam back up. That's what this bar is going to prevent from happening. With all the other baseless car seats, you don't get any anti-rebound feature unless you're installing them with a seat belt, which sort of defeats the purpose of why you might have bought a baseless car seat, which was to be able to utilize those lower anchors and still get a really safe, awesome option. For me, the safety features on this are so awesome for the fact that it's baseless. It's really pretty incredible. So I really have to give Peg Perego credit. This is one of the better car seats they've done in a really long time. Their seats are always good, but this one's particularly impressive. Now, the other thing that we talked about, like with the Collect Lingo, you can buy a base separately if you want to use it with a base. So you're like, well, why would you ever do that? Let's say you start off with a 0 vehicle household, and then 6 months into having your child, you become a 1 vehicle household. If that's the case, it might be annoying to have to reinstall that every single time. And that's what's so cool. You can buy the docking stations, the bases separately if you want. This one from Peg Perego, this is the fancier one, although I'm not utilizing the load leg because this demonstration seat, it wouldn't go to the floor. So there are instances where you tuck the load leg underneath the base. This is one instance where we'll go ahead and do that. Get this guy adjusted correctly for the angle we want. And then it's gonna be the same story. We just tighten it in, pop it down, and then the seat will drop right into the docking station. Just like that. So, hey, we want to use it in one car with a base, one car without a base, be able to pop it into taxis, Ubers. My sister wants to take the baby. Grandma needs to go pick him up. No matter what, you are covered because you can do seatbelt installation with either the base or with just the seat, or you can do the lower anchor installation with either the base or the seat, and you're not compromising on anti-rebound or side impact with either of it. You're not compromising on flame retardant free. It's made in Italy. You don't have to manually rethread the harness, and it works with a ton of different strollers. You also get the enormous sunshade that is SPF 50, and there is ventilation on the side of the shade. Even though there's not like a particular window on the back, it is ventilated. So, for $299, the seat is awesome. I really like it. Now, if you have questions or you have comments, please feel free to leave them below. If you think it makes sense to share this video with someone, go ahead and share it. Sharing is caring. If you want to like this channel or subscribe it because what we're talking about is relevant to you, please feel free to do that. And you know, I have some other videos about other baseless car seats, including a comparison comparing all the 3 different ones that I sell. You might have interest in that video as well, so feel free to check that out. We appreciate every viewer, every review. Thank you so much for watching, and we hopefully will see you in our next video.